loves, I am Kathy and welcome to my studio. This is Yugen Yoga Studio based in Leek, Staffordshire. I thought I would film a 10-minute-ish video for you to follow along at home to incorporate into your day. So let's get started. Finding your way to the top of the mat, toes together, heels apart. We're going to draw those shoulders back, standing up nice and tall in our mountain pose, our Tadasana. Inhale, bending into the knees, reaching the arms all the way up. Exhale, finding fold. Taking a micro bend in the knees as we wrap those arms around the back of the legs. Inhale. Exhale out. Seeing if we can start to extend those legs a little. If that feels too much, stay with knees bent. Releasing the hands down towards the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders drawn back, chin looking forward. Pressing into the mat, finding a high plank. Maybe taking a hop, maybe a step. Moving down through Chaturanga. So glancing forward over the mat, pushing into the feet, coming over those wrists, finding strength, bending into the elbows as we draw ourselves gently down to the mat. Keeping the hands underneath the shoulders, and we're going to start to lift first into our baby cobra, option to stay here, or maybe pressing it up further, lifting up through the chin, pointing into the toes. Finding downward dog, tucking the toes, draw it back, and starting to lift the hips off the ground, walking the feet so they're around hip width apart. And our gaze is towards the back of the mat, in between the heels or in between the knees. Pressing into the hands, keep lifting up through those hips. We're going to take a deep bend in the knees. As we take that bend, see if that upper part of the body can come as close to the top of the thighs as we can. We might need to walk the hands a little bit closer so we can find that contact with the top of the thighs. Once here, see if we can keep that upper body exactly where it is as we start to extend into those legs. We should feel that slightly more intensely. Looking towards the top of the mat, bending into the knees. We can either take a few steps forward, or if we're feeling energetic, maybe taking a hop. Finding halfway lift, bending into the knees, reaching up. And exhale, coming through heart center, hands to the side. So that was our first round of our Sun Salutation A, also known as our Surya Namaskara A. Coming into our Sun Salutation or Surya Namaskara B. So feet are coming hip width apart. We're going to inhale, reaching hands into our chair pose. Try bringing that pelvis forward. Inhale, looking up in between the hands. Exhale, finding our way into our fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Pressing into the mat, take that step or hop it back, high plank. Moving down through that Chaturanga again, so coming forward over the wrist, starting to lower ourselves down. And inhale, lifting through the crown of the head into our cobra. Remember, option to stay with our baby cobra, keeping a bend in the elbows. Lifting up the chin, tucking the toes, finding momentum, downward dog. Moving straight into our three-leg dog this time. So right leg's going to lift, pressing into the hands, pressing into that grounded foot, bending into the right knee, looking towards the top of the mat. And we're going to take a big step forward, trying to bring that right foot in between the hands. Now it doesn't always land where we want it to, so giving it a little nudge where we need to. Back foot turns at a slight angle. Inhale, lift to our warrior one. Keep it here, breathing in through the nostrils and out. One more breath. Beautiful, with control, finding hands down, framing the foot, stepping it back, high plank. Again, down through Chaturanga. This time, maybe transferring into our up dog.
keeping those thighs lifted off the ground, pushing into the hands as we lift crown of the head up. Beautiful, tucking the toes or rolling back on the feet, finding, again, downward dog. This time, left leg's going to lift up, pointing into the toes. Inhale, looking towards the top of the mat, stepping that foot forward, turning back foot, meeting again, warrior one on the other side. Inhale, exhale out. One more. Finding hands down, stepping it back. Beautiful. This time pushing into our downward dog, bringing knees down about the width of the mat, bringing the toes together, pushing heels all the way back to our child's pose. Inhale, exhale out. Hopefully we're a little bit warmer now. And from here, pressing into those hands, starting to round vertebrae by vertebrae as we draw forward into our cobra, lifting up through the crown of the head. And then tucking the toes, bending the knees, meeting in downward dog. Beautiful. Now from our downward dog, we're going to move into our spinal rolls. So we're going to press into the toes, lifting up through the legs, unraveling through the body as we find our way to our high plank. Then we're going to bend the knees and draw it back. So we're going to do this a few more times. It takes a couple of goes to get that rhythm of the body. So imagining the body is a big wave, we're pushing into the toes, we're unraveling, finding strength in the body, drawing and belly button towards the spine, bending into the knees and lifting buttons up back to our downward dog. Let's go for it 2 more times, getting into that rhythm. As much fluidity in the body as we can, meeting back in that downward dog. Wonderful. Bringing knees down towards the mat and sitting back to the heels now. Wonderful. Inhale, arms reach up, drawing them in front. Left hand's going to come on top of the right, giving ourselves a big hug, separating through the shoulder blades. And then see if we can bring back of the palms, maybe the front of the palms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. Inhale, draw up. We're going to swap them over. So unraveling the arms, this time right over left, giving ourselves a hug. Bringing back of the palms, or maybe the front. Let's go again. Inhale. Exhale, taking our fold. And drawing up. Wonderful. Coming back to our tabletop. And we're going to send the right foot out to the side, flexing into the foot, walking hands forward, finding a variation of our puppy pose. Keep that foot flexed. Inhale. Exhale. Walking all the way back, so we come on to our knee and our foot now, reaching all the way up. Inhale, exhale, leaning over to that right side, dropping the right hand down, left arms reaching over. Beautiful. Drawing back down, and that right foot's going to come behind now, pressing toes into the mat as we come back and forth. Feeling that stretch into our calves. And then lifting up through that right leg, bending into the knee, flexing into the foot. See if we can push up with the foot, finding balance now. Left arm's going to come forward. Option to stay here, or if it's within our practice, see if we can bring that left arm round, finding the right foot, lifting up to a little bit more of a challenge. Inhale and exhale, release. We're going to go over to the other side. So this time, left foot's going to come out, flex, walking hands forward, puppy pose. One One more breath. Walking hands back, finding our way up to our knees. Inhale, reach up, leaning over to the left side. Right arm's drawing over. Wonderful. Drawing it back. That left leg is going to come back this time. Drawing it back and forth. I'll twizzle so you can see me. Left foot's coming back and forth, stretching into the calf. One more time. Drawing left foot up, bending into the knee, pushing and flexing into the foot. Beautiful. Let's go over to the other side with that balance. Also, a little tip, tuck the right toe for a little bit more stability if we need it. So drawing arm behind, see if we can find the foot, maybe the ankle, and let's lift. Inhale. Beautiful. Embracing any wobbles in the body. And release it down. Perfect. Coming to our seated, crossing the legs. We're going to take a couple of side stretches. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, bringing the left hand to the right knee, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, draw up. And over to the other side. Beautiful, moving it back to centre. And then bringing soles of the feet together, just gently guiding our knees down, holding onto the toes, opening out the feet as though pages of books so we can see the soles of the feet. Drawing body forward, tucking the elbows in or maybe bringing them out in front if that's within our practice. And we're going to exhale, so last posture. So with each inhale and exhale, feeling the body, let go, sinking deeper into the mat. Wonderful, and drawing up, crossing the legs, and we're going to inhale, reaching all the way up. Exhale down through heart centre and bowing forward, thanking ourselves for our little mini practice today. Namaste.